Well, hello, everyone. My name is Cathy with Courage to Caregivers. We meet tonight with the theme of advocacy. And our topic for this evening is caregiving advocacy, something I know that you know all too well. Because as you know, one of the primary roles of a caregiver is to be an advocate for our loved ones. This is a role that is often unchosen and unfamiliar, but it does come with the territory. There are many things to navigate through. For one, just the whole complex healthcare system, dealing with healthcare professionals and having to come to a quick understanding of medical terminology as well as procedures, wading through insurance issues and healthcare policies, and so much more. It can be exhausting and frustrating. In addition to advocating for our loved ones, we caregivers must find a way to advocate for ourselves. When we do, we gain confidence, which leads to an increased sense of well-being. And then we can truly shine as a role model for other caregivers who are on the similar journey. But it's not always easy to find our voices, let alone advocate for someone else. So what are some simple ways that we can accomplish this? Number one, share your own story. You have a unique story that is yours and yours alone, but you never know how telling it can affect another person. And it may be just the story that they need to hear. So do open yourself up to sharing your story and your journey. Number two, study the policies. Study policies that you are passionate about, things that you are concerned about, and then educate yourself in these policies and practices. Number three, find allies. Who are the people who support the causes that you're committed to? They could be community members, legal and medical professionals, politicians, and others. Seek them out with a letter, an email, a phone call, or even a face-to-face meeting. Find your network. And then number four, make your voice heard. Use social media as a tool to bring awareness. Print media, TV, and radio are all avenues for reaching others and getting your voice out there. And of course, the internet. So all these various ways that you can make that networking connection. And number five, organizations. Get involved with organizations that share and support your concerns. And above all, know your worth. Know your value as a person and as a caregiver. Prioritize your self-care as you care for others. Make it as important as brushing your teeth, sleeping, and eating every day. Your voice matters. You matter. Shine brightly for yourself and the ones you love. You can do it. Okay, so that gives you just a little bit of what you're going to be discussing tonight in your support group. Let's go ahead and get ready for a little breathing and meditation. And I invite you to find a comfortable seated position in your chair there. Taking a moment to shift your weight from one side to the other to make sure that it's evenly distributed and you're not slouching on either side. Placing your feet flat on the floor, your seat firmly on the chair, and finding a nice tall spine there. So maybe taking the shoulders up to the ears, drawing them back, letting them settle back down, and finding that length in the spine. Also placing your hands on your knees or on your thighs. And then closing the eyes or leaving them at a soft gaze as you begin to connect with the breath, breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. Just naturally falling into your own breath pattern as it comes and as it goes. And starting to feel yourself let go of anything today that did not serve you. This is your time. This is just for you. And so letting your body start to respond to this place of stillness, feeling everything begin to soften from the top of the head to the shoulders and the neck, down the torso to the hips and the legs, the back body, just letting all tension begin to ease out of the body. And if there are any thoughts rambling through your head, there always are. That's perfectly normal. Just ask those thoughts to kindly sit aside for this next hour as we just enjoy this special time. And notice any thoughts that come in without judgment, gently let them go. Just doing this time for you is what's most important now. Good. Letting every cell of the body feel nourished by your breathing. The breath of this month, the breathing technique of this month is sighing breath. That's sighing, S-I-G-H-I-N-G. And so we know how to sigh. We often sigh when we feel sad. Sometimes we sigh when we look at something beautiful. Sometimes we sigh when feelings of love and gratitude just bubble up into our being and then our cup overflows. So just knowing what that sighing is like, it's that long exhalation of air like this, or closed mouth, And you can also do it without making an audible sound. So what this breathing technique looks like, we're going to take an inhale through the nose and then a long, slow exhale. Again, mouth open or mouth closed, and just sigh it out. Studies have shown that this particular breathing technique is actually more effective than meditation when it comes to relaxing the body, because what it does is stimulate and activate the parasympathetic nervous system, which is the relaxation part of the nervous system. So that's where we want to be. Most of the time we're going through the day in a fight or flight mode. So when we breathe deeply and slowly on that exhale, when we lengthen that out, we alleviate stress, we improve anxiety, we improve all kinds of negative emotions. And so this is a wonderful breathing technique to do just that. So let's try to explore this together, sighing breath. You can leave the eyes closed or open if that's comfortable for you, your choice. We'll take a nice inhale all the way in to the top of the breath. And then we'll exhale, sighing it out. All the way to the bottom of the breath, till every little last bit of air is expelled from the lungs. And you're going to go ahead and try this again on your own and experiment with it a little bit. If you like the closed mouth, do it that way. If you like it with the mouth open where you can hear yourself sigh, do it that way. But let's go ahead and try that on our own. Remember, inhaling and then a nice long, slow exhale, sigh it out. And just notice how that feels in the body as you continue to sigh. If you feel that shift from that fight or flight state of being to the rest and digest state of being, if just that breathing technique makes that openness and expansion in the breathing, and you feel that start to filter into your central nervous system. So just try that for a couple more rounds. Beautiful, everyone. We're going to shift into ocean breath or ujjayi breathing. This is very, very similar to sighing breath. So what we do is inhale in a normal fashion, and on the exhale, and we're going to start this with an open mouth, just make the ha sound as if you are fogging up a mirror or taking your glasses up and fogging them in order to clean them. It also, to me, is the sound that you hear in a seashell when you pick it up and hold it to your ear and you hear that roar of the ocean. So it's that ocean breath. And you can make it with open mouth or closed mouth. If the mouth is closed, still conscious of that feeling of the breath as it passes over the throat, making the sound. So we're going to inhale in normally and exhale. Good. It also sounds like Darth Vader from the Star Wars series, if you remember what he sounded like. So I'm going to go ahead and let you try a little ocean breathing on your own, inhaling normally, exhaling with the ha sound, mouth open or mouth closed. While you are going through these rounds, I will read our affirmations for tonight's practice. I am my own best advocate. I am the author of my own destiny. I have the power to grow. I have the power to grow. Now I invite you to begin breathing normally at your own pace for just a couple more rounds here as you feel the body start to de-stress, let go, and relax. Good. Beautiful, everyone. Wonderful job. I thank you for trying those breathing techniques with me. You can gently blink the eyes open if you've not already done so, and come back to the present moment. We'll begin a little mindful movement tonight. And so to start with, we're going to come to mountain pose standing. So if you're seated, you might want to just get up and move your chair off to the side. Good. So we're going to come to a nice mountain pose here. Feet rooted into the ground, all four corners of the feet. Standing with feet about a hip's distance apart. Shoulders back, arms down at your sides with the palms facing forward. And then taking your index finger to your chin, pushing it back just slightly so that the ears are over the shoulders. Finding that little lift through the crown of your head. Good. Engaging that core, feeling the ribs drop slightly, feeling your quad muscles at the front of the thighs, and feeling your open heart, open chest, open collarbones. Beautiful. And so this is our mountain pose before we begin any movement. Now I invite you to start moving just the right side of the body. So starting to shake out the right fingers, the hand, the wrist, and then the whole arm, just finding some movement here in the arm, and then the leg. If you need to stand next to something, hold on to a chair or a tabletop or something, but just start to feel yourself unwind in the whole right side of the body. Maybe, a little bit of gentle jumping, and just really feeling your body move on that one side only. Good. Beautiful. And when that feels complete, stopping and returning to your mountain pose. And feeling, bringing your awareness to the two sides of the body, the right side and the left side. So we just moved the right side. How does that feel in the body? Notice if there's any more ease on that side, any more expansion, any more spaciousness as compared to the left, which we haven't moved yet. So just finding that now. Good. And now we're going to start to move that left side of the body, same way, starting with the hand, wrist, fingers, arm, maybe making some big arm circles, and then starting to move from that left hip, moving the leg, the foot, the calf, the ankle, just getting a little movement on that left side, swinging that leg back and forth, whatever you need to do to get that movement going. Good. And then finally coming to stillness once again, finding mountain pose, grounding down through the feet, and bringing your awareness to the left side of the body. How does that feel now with both sides having movement? And just bringing to your awareness any subtle feelings in the body. Good. Beautiful. Bringing your hands to your heart. And let's bring the arms up overhead. Reach to the fingertips. And then exhale, hands back to the heart once again. Good. We're going to come back to seated. So find your chair. Good. Thank you all for moving a little bit with me. We're going to begin a little massage, self-massage, which is a wonderful way to invite in a little self-care. Even if you do this for 3 to 5 minutes every day, it's really easy and it's really accessible because you really don't need anything. And you just need your hands. Good. And so we know that with movement, as we move the right side and the left side, we strengthen those neural pathways. And that alone is like a meditation. That's the profound effect that that has on the body. Same thing with massage. It's that tactile sensation, that sensation of touch, that is so supportive and so healing in so many ways. So if you have essential oils or lotions, go ahead and find that now. And then we're going to start with the fingers, the pads of the fingers, not the nail side, but just the pad side of the fingers. And just start to massage your head, your scalp, going in small circles, finding those thumbs at the base of the skull, moving your head a little bit from side to side, and letting the thumbs come all the way to the back of the head and then behind the ears. And then taking your hands to your ears, massaging those little cartilage, bony portions of the ears from the earlobe all the way up to the top of the ear and the back of the ear, little gentle massage. And then taking your index finger and middle finger in both hands and starting to rotate right at the forehead there. Massaging out those little worry lines. We all have them. And then moving toward the temples. So right there at the side of the eyes, right at the temples. Down to your cheekbones. And then down to the lower jaw. And then back up to the joint that connects the upper and lower jaw, Just finding some circles there, gentle massage. Good. And then bringing your hands to your neck, gently massaging, using all of the fingers here, the sides of the neck, the front of the neck, the back of the neck, right there at the shoulders, way up high. And then the shoulders themselves. And you may want to just take one hand at a time on each shoulder, whatever feels most supportive to you. Good. And then bringing one hand to the low belly, the other hand we're going to place on our collarbones, index finger and thumb, finding that little notch right below the collarbones. And you're going to begin to close the eyes and gently rotate the hand on your collarbones here. This beautiful gesture of calming down, letting go of anxiety, quieting the body and the mind, all these things. Good. And then releasing the hand, placing opposite hands on opposite shoulders and giving yourself a great big hug. Just nourishing yourself in this moment, knowing that you are worth every minute of self-care, every second, I should say, of self-care that you give to yourself every day. So necessary for you. And then releasing the hands, placing them at the heart. Very good. Beautiful. Releasing the fingers. We're going to go ahead and prepare for our Shavasana tonight. We're doing a loving kindness meditation. As we know, you have to love yourself first in order to love the rest of the world. So we're going to start with you and let that love radiate in small circles into the people that you know, people that you don't know, and then finally out into the whole world. What I'd really like you to do for this is allow yourself to just be present and just let go. So finding your comforts there, perhaps your pillow, your blanket. If you're going to lay down, find a real comfortable position there on the floor. If you're seated in a chair, same thing. Just make sure you're nice and supported on all sides. And as always, I invite you to close the eyes and begin to connect with the breath, breathing in and breathing out. Good. So loving kindness is a natural opening of your compassionate heart to yourself and to others. It is a wish that everyone be happy. We begin with developing loving kindness towards ourselves, allowing our hearts to open with tenderness. I invite you to remember a time when you can reflect on your basic goodness. You might remember times that you have been kind or generous to others. If acknowledging your own goodness is difficult, then reflect on some time when you were a child and actually look at yourself through the eyes of a child, through the eyes of someone who loves you. What does that person love about you? And think of yourself in that way. And allow tender feelings to flow in and out, just like your breath is flowing in and out, in and out. As you experience this feeling of love for yourself, notice how you feel it in the body. Maybe you feel some warmth, especially in the face. Maybe you feel a smile beginning to bloom on your lips. This loving kindness, a natural feeling that is accessible to all of us always. And just allow yourself to rest with that open, unconditional love for a few moments. Letting yourself bask in the energy of loving kindness, breathing it in, breathing it out, inviting in feelings of peace and acceptance. So begin now to wish yourself some loving kindness by saying these words to yourself. I'll be offering you a phrase and you'll just repeat it quietly to yourself. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be held in loving kindness. May I feel connected and calm. May I accept myself just as I am. May I be happy. May I know the natural joy of just being alive. So just saying those words to yourself, let them fill your heart, fill your mind, and wash over you like a waterfall of love. Now we're going to open the circle of loving kindness by bringing to mind someone who is dear to you, someone whom you care about, and someone who has always been supportive. Reflect on this person's basic goodness, sensing what it is in particular that you love about them. In your heart, feel appreciation for this dear one and begin your simple words of loving kindness. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be held in loving kindness. May you feel my love now. May you accept yourself just as you are. May you be happy. May you know the natural joy of just being alive. Let those feelings wash over you and bring you feelings of love and gratitude and joy. Now we're going to bring to mind a neutral person, someone you might see regularly, but you don't know well, like a neighbor or someone at the grocery store. Bring this person to mind now and repeat the words of loving kindness. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be held in loving kindness. May you feel my love now. May you accept yourself just as you are. May you be happy. May you know the natural joy of just being alive. Take a few moments to gather those feelings of loving kindness into your heart. These feelings you have for this neutral person in your life. And now, if it's possible, I invite you to bring to mind someone with whom you've had a difficult relationship. Perhaps it's someone that is hard to feel compassion for. Reminding yourself to see this person as a whole being, deserving of love and kindness, as someone who feels pain and anxiety just like you do, as someone who also suffers. And see if it's possible to extend these words of loving kindness to this person in your mind. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be held in loving kindness. May you feel my love now. May you accept yourself just as you are. May you be happy. and may you know the natural joy of just being alive. And now allow yourself to open up in all directions. Loving kindness to yourself, a dear one, a neutral person, and a difficult person, and to all beings, human and animals, living everywhere, living in riches, living in poverty, living in war, living in peace, living in hunger, and living in abundance, aware of all the joys and sorrows that all beings experience. And when you can envision casting that wide net out into the world, you can repeat these words of loving kindness. May all beings be filled with loving kindness. May all beings be held in loving kindness. May all beings be happy. May all beings awaken and be free. May all beings be happy. And to complete our full circle of loving kindness, bringing this practice back to yourself, to extend loving kindness to you where it all began. And just basking in this energy of loving kindness that may have been generated here, starting with you. Remember, it always starts with you. And as your whole body is bathing in loving kindness and you are relaxed, rest. Rest now. Just simply rest. Very gently and very slowly begin to bring your awareness back to the body, starting to invite a little movement into your space there, wiggling fingers and toes, maybe taking some deeper breaths, or maybe a full body stretch, either in your chair or on the floor, whatever feels supportive for you. Just ask your body what it needs and give yourself that gift right now. And just taking your time to awaken, no hurrying. I'm going to go ahead and read a few quotes for tonight's practice as you are coming back to the present moment. This is from Amanda Gorman. She says, "There is always light, if only we're brave enough to see it, if only we're brave enough to be it." And then from Nelson Mandela, "It always seems impossible until it's done." And finally, Samantha Power, "All advocacy at its core is an exercise in empathy." So continuing to awaken gently, taking a deeper breath in and a deeper breath out. And eventually pressing yourself back to seated and meeting me with hands at the heart. Thank you all for being with me tonight. It was an honor to be in your presence. Let's bring the hands together at the heart and acknowledge the respect and admiration that we have for one another as we share our word and our greeting. Namaste.